Welcome to EACC Math, lesson number 7.5. Here is just a brief review of what we've done in the first 6 lessons. These are the key concepts. First one, we talked about using the order of operations. Remember your good old PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. The only thing to remember here is that multiplication and division are really tied, along with adding and subtracting. You do the same, or the first thing that occurs from left to right. Working with your fractions, just be able to do the basic operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Remember, with adding and subtracting, you need to have a common denominator. And remember to always simplify your answers. Ratio and proportion. Here, remember, use your ratios to set up a proportion. Use the cross product property to solve for unknown values. And last, your percents. Try to remember how to use your percent circle. I think it's a nice tool. Part your percent and your whole. And remember here, you always multiply the percent times the whole. And this way is always division. Part divided by percent gives you the whole, and part divided by the whole gives us the percent. Okay, here are some sample problems. Number 1, here we're working with a order of operations. We've got a signed number in there. So again, following our order of operations, we know that parentheses come first. So if we look in here, we need to do this part of the operation first. So we'll leave the -5 alone, and then plus 16 take away 9 is 7, and then times 3. Okay. Multiplication is next on our list, so we'll multiply the 7 times 3, so we have -5 plus 21, and then adding -5 and a positive 21. Since the signs are different, we're going to take their difference, and so we end up with a positive 16. Second one, here again we have the order of operations coming into play, and we also have fractions. So we will start with the second part here, dividing 1/3 by 5. So remember, when you're working with fractions, I've got 1/3 divided by 5, which is, we rewrite this as a multiplication problem, and we take the reciprocal of the number we're dividing by. So that's going to be 1/3 times 1/5, and so that's 1/15. Okay, so now we have our 2/5, and we're going to add that to our 1/15. Here we need a common denominator. Our common denominator will be 15ths. So changing the first fraction to 15ths, I need to multiply the denominator by 3, so we do the same thing to the numerator. So we end up with 6/15ths plus our 1/15th that was there, and so we end up with 7/15ths. And that doesn't reduce any further, so we'll leave our answer just like it is. Okay, number 3. The scale on a blueprint indicates that 1/4 of an inch on a drawing represents 8 inches on the actual item. The length of a piece on the drawing is 2 3/8 inches. How long is the actual piece? So we're looking for the actual dimension of this item. So here's where our ratio and proportions come into play. I know that my ratio is 1/4 of an inch on the drawing is to 8 inches on the actual thing. So 2 3/8 inches on the drawing is equal to how many inches on the actual item. Cross multiplying, we'll get 1/4 times x is equal to 8 times 2 3/8. So here I'm going to rewrite 2 3/8 as 19/8. And then the 8's will cancel out, and we just have 19. So now I'm down to 1/4 x is equal to 19. To get rid of the 1/4, I need to multiply both sides by 4. So we end up with x is equal to 76, and we're talking inches here. So the measure on the actual item would be 76 inches. Okay, next problem. An item that has a price of $14.20 is on sale for 20% off, and they want us to find the sale price. Well, we could do this problem two ways. We could do it in two steps. I could take the 20% off and then subtract it from the $14.20. Or if I think a little bit, I know that the new price will be 80% of the old price. So what I just need to do is find 80% of $14.20. Okay, so if we think of our percent circle, I've got the percent, that's 80. I have the whole, which was the original price of $14.20, and I'm looking for the new price. And again, this tells me to multiply those together, so I write 80% as a decimal, so that's going to be 0.80, and then I multiply it with my $14.20, and I end up with $11.36. So the sale price is $11.36. Number 5, Mike only missed 2 on his 40-question math exam. What is Mike's test percentage? So we're looking for a percent again. And here we have to do a little bit of thinking. He missed 2. So that means he got 38 correct. Okay. So our question then is 38 is what percent of 40? Okay, so 38 is what percent of 40? So again, let's think about our percent circle. We don't know the percent, that's the unknown. The test had a value of 40, and the part we got right was 38. Okay. So this tells us to divide, so we have 38 divided by 40, and when we do that, we get the decimal 0.95, which we write then as 95%. So Mike got 95% on his test. Pretty good on a math test, Michael. Okay, that's the end of the practice. So you have some problems in front of you, or you should have. If you have any questions, please contact me at any time. Thank you.